Hey everyone, it's Christos here, aka the FRAG. Let me just introduce you to my little friend. This is Harry the Hawker. He's got to land now because he's running out of fuel, and hopefully Maverick is going to land him safe onto the aircraft carrier. And just remember this, you can be my wingman anytime. Okay, so Harry's made it safe home. So today I'm going to review my Gibson Les Paul Traditional. And this particular model is a 2018 model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break up this video into three sections. The first one is going to be the review. The second one is going to be going over some of the customizations and mods and cons to suit my personal playing preferences. And thirdly, I'll finish off with just a little bit of some of the quality control issues that you need to be mindful when buying Gibsons. So I'm not going to do any sound testing here or playing the guitar or anything like that. I just want to focus on the review, but I will be posting other videos playing the guitar along to my favorite tracks. So let's just start off firstly. So this particular guitar is a 2018 model. It comes with a mahogany back, and you can see that there's a line that comes up the center of the guitar, and this is a two-piece mahogany back. It's got the accessible cavity for the tone and volume knobs, volume pots, and they come with orange drop capacitors, and it's also the open cavity for the toggle switch as well. It's got a flame maple top, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's an arch top. So it goes up towards the center and comes down towards the outer edges, and likewise it comes up here and goes down as well. So Gibson have been making arch tops for forever and a day. And this particular model comes with a flame maple top. You can see the line that comes up through the center there. And what Gibson do is they get a piece of maple, slice it through the middle, open it up, and they do what they call book match, where they align the flame of the maple similar to lines of a book. When you're opening up a book, the lines are aligned with each other. This particular model is a honeyburst. In this particular model series, they came up with the Heritage Cherry Sunburst, the honeyburst, and also the Tobacco Perimeter Burst. And that was a really nice color. I actually had that and I've sold it, but it was a really nice color. Normal bursts of a Gibson go basically like a teardrop. Start from the top pickup and finish up at the top pickup. And it's darker on the outer edges and it's brighter on the inside. So they call that a sunburst finish. With the perimeter burst, it actually goes around the entire perimeter. So it's not like a teardrop. And it's very reminiscent of a 68 reissue, if anyone knows that. It's a very, very nice finish. And I got to say, when I saw this, I fell in love with the flame maple top, and this particular model, the Traditional, comes with a AA flame maple top, which is not supposed to be too pronounced. So basically the more A's, the more rich and pronounced the flame maple top is. You know, like you get a AAA, quadruple A, 5A flame maple top, and then you're paying some serious money. But for me, this looked like a quadruple A flame maple top. It's really, really nice. So you've got your stop tail piece, you've got your bridge, you've got your two pickups. This is a burst buckle 1 and 2. Alnico 2, so aluminium, nickel and cobalt are the magnets that are used to construct these pickups. And they're designed for a warm vintage tone. These probably wouldn't be your first preference if you're after like a really heavy sounding thrash metal type pickup. Now, unlike your ceramic pickups or ceramic magnet pickups or your EMG active pickups or Seymour Duncan active pickups. You've got your two tone pots here and your two volume pots here, and you've also got your vintage markers here, like these little steel points here that let you know exactly where you are on each knob. So you know if you want to turn down halfway or and so forth, just to give you that better accuracy when you're playing. You've got your toggle switch here. So down is the bridge, middle is both, and up is the neck pickup. You've got your rosewood fingerboard. You've got your 22 medium frets. You've got your acrylic trapezoid fret markers, and you've got binding that goes all the way around the body of the guitar. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a bit of a gap between the binding and before the wood actually touches, the flame maple top touches the mahogany body. Because this is arch top, this part is not level flat like normal guitars, and because it undulates upwards, it creates a wider gap here, whilst the actual binding is only one one width, and hence why you see a little bit of that maple part of the body as it touches the mahogany body. In years gone by, Gibson used to cut the binding to accommodate that gap, but now they don't do it. They just do it one size binding all the way around. And you've also got binding around the neck as well, the side here, and also the binding there. And you've got your fret inlays, your fret markers, your 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, and so forth. It's a maple neck, and you've got your headstock here. You've got your tuners, the traditional Gibson open book headstock, and it's got your traditional. You've got these newer Gibson fret holders. Sorry, strap holders. These are actually much bigger than what Gibson have used in the past, and that's great. I love them, especially the one at the neck here, where in the past it was much smaller, which necessitated us guitarists to either stand straight and not move around on stage, or at risk of the strap coming off, or removing them and adding a customized aftermarket strap holder like a Shaler, Jim Dunlop, and so forth. I think I've pretty much covered everything. Oh yeah, before I get on to the next part, you do get a really nice case, and this is the Gibson hard case that comes with the guitar. You've got 5 latches. You've got one on the back as well, the Gibson logo, a nice thick comfortable handle, and a really classy plush interior here, padded, and it's padded here, and you've got your little compartment if you want to put your your leads or strap or picks or anything like that. So it's a really lovely case. Cannot complain at all. Okay, so with that said, I'll start now focusing on some of the work that I've done on the guitar, just to personalize it to my own playing preferences. So what I've done is, with regards to the strap holders, you can see better here, I've added a felt tip there. Just one of these tips that I use to put between the strap holder and the body. Now, because this is a nitrocellulose finish guitar, it is designed to wear over time unless you use the Gibson pump polish and polish it down with a really good microfiber cloth. That'll preserve the nitrocellulose finish. If you don't, after a while it'll have that sort of worn, faded world tour look. And what I have found in the past, that when I've removed the strap holder, it's actually gone all the way down to the bare wood, and this prevents it, whilst a normally lacquered or varnished guitar is much more sturdier. And one of the reasons that Gibson use nitrocellulose finish, because it's an easier finish apparently to work with as opposed to a varnish or a lacquer, which is a much stronger finish. So I always make a habit of replacing or putting these in place between the wood and the strap holder, just to preserve the finish around the strap holder itself. So really good, and they cost like a couple of dollars for about 12 of them, so it's a great investment. What I've also done is I've removed the plastic jack plate and replace it with a steel one, because what happens over time is the plastic, when you're pulling out your lead, you're putting a lot of pressure around the edges here, and when it's the plastic input jack plate, there's not much material between the screw and the edge of the plastic border, and you tend to find that it will crack over time. While something like this, a steel jack plate, it just prevents that from happening. It's much more sturdier. What I did do is I replaced, these were the top hats that came standard with the Gibson, and I replaced them with the speed knobs. And you can see off the top is the circumference on the speed knob is much wider than the top hat, and that makes it for easier turning. It just makes it easier turning, and also for me, I like the look of them. They just look classier. So I replaced them, and as you can see, I've got the 4 speed knobs here. One thing I will say, guys, is that Gibsons and their Far Eastern manufactured, Epiphanies or Epiphones, they're not the same pots that they use. These have 24 splines around the pot, like little protruding teeth that come out all the way along the length of the shaft, whilst the Far Eastern guitars have 18. So I don't know if you can see here, the one this one is 18 splines and this one is 24 splines. You'll see that the splines here are much closer together than this one, which is the 18. I don't know if you can see them. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is you don't want to put a knob with 18 splines on a 24 spline pot and vice versa, because you can and will damage your pots. Yeah, when you take these off, it's not like a solid shaft. It's like two metal pieces, but they're not contacting each other. And then what happens when you try and force it down, you may end up buckling one, and then you have to replace the whole pot, and can get a bit frustrating. The actual bridge, I removed the ABR1 bridge and replaced it with a Tone Pros T3BPN. And the great thing about these bridges is that they're much wider than the ABR1, so it gives you more real estate to move the bridge saddle back and forth to get perfect intonation. And intonation is basically saying that the A note here is the same tune as the A note here. Otherwise, if this is flat, you move it forward, the bridge saddle. If it's sharp, you move it back. And I just found that the intonation is just so easy to achieve on this bridge. Also, the ABR1 bridge, you can see that there's about six screws here. On the ABR1 bridge, there's a thin piece of wire that goes from one side and covers them. And if you were to take that wire off, they basically all fall out. But the thing is, you can't stretch it too much, otherwise it's very difficult to insert it in the hole on the other side of the bridge, the thin wire. But what Tone Pros have done, they've removed all that. And with that wire, I found that when I was playing the ABR1 bridge, I was getting this very annoying rattle inside the bridge when I was playing. Now that I've replaced it with the Tone Pros bridge, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And you'll see here that there's a hexagon screw here and here, which allows you to use an Allen key to tighten it to the bridge poles. And similar Tone Pros, although this is a standard stock bridge, Tone Pros also make a similar one where you've got a hexagon screw here and a hexagon screw here, and you can tighten it to the stop toe screws. And the great thing about that is that you can remove your strings and not be in fear that these could fall off and dent the beautiful finish on your Gibson, which, especially if you're paying thousands of dollars, it's a real frustration. So I've done that. And what I've also done is I've added some new Goto replacement tuners. Now, these are made in Japan. They're 18-to-1. So basically you have to turn the kidney head here 18 times before this top part of the machine head will make one full revolution. And what I've done here is that the Clouson tuners of the Gibson have a screw on this side and this side. What I've done is I've just kept the screw on, just put it back in the back of the headstock just to keep it there, just so it doesn't look unsightly. But I must say, and it also, the nice bright chrome work really complements the chrome work of the guitar. So if you look at it, it's just a lovely looking guitar. So what I'll do now is I'll finish off the video with going over some of the quality control issues that I came across. And firstly, the nut itself I found was a bit higher than normal, and I actually used some measuring tools to measure the distance between the fret and the string, and it is a bit higher than normal. It's not a frustration, it's not anything significant. And you might also see here is that on the actual nut there's a bit of glue protruding. I don't know if you can see that. Again, it's not anything significant. It doesn't affect playability. But with regards to the higher than normal nut, what I did was I used an Allen key to tighten the truss rod a bit, just to raise the neck closer to the strings, and that way the action was still pretty good. You may see here, I don't know if you can, but right next to each fret there's like a little lighter part of you can probably see it, especially here, there and there. I think what's happened is that when they were filing down the edges of the fret, maybe the file made contact with the rosewood fretboard, or when they attach the binding here, you'll see that it's been routed down to be level with the fretboard. But when Gibson attach it, it's actually just one length of the fret. So what they do is they use a filing machine to file down that part of the binding, but still keep that little piece of binding that makes contact with the fret. And I think maybe when I did that, it may have come down a bit too hard on this side. Again, Nothing significant, but you know, you could rightfully say that a company that's been making electric guitars for 100 years plus, you know, it's the quality control issues that you'd like to learn by now. But overall, am I happy with the guitar? Absolutely. I absolutely love it. It's a tone beast. And like I said, I will post some other videos of me playing along to my favorite music. And I just wanted to say thank you very much, guys. That's pretty much the end of it. As I mentioned at the opening, if you want to subscribe, please do so. I will be putting out more videos. If you want to hit the like button, go for it. If you want to leave me comments, go for it. Just keep them clean. And for me, really, it's just the passion of music. The passion of music, the ability to play a musical instrument is one of the, you know, not too many things bring me as much or more joy than playing a musical instrument. It is God's gift. So I urge you, pick up the guitar, pick up the volume, pick up the bass, pick up anything, whether it's lying in your attic, you know, gathering dust, or whether it's you going out and buying something for the first time because you want to learn it, irrespective of your age. It doesn't matter. You know, pick up something, and it's a really, really good feeling to be able to play along to one of your favorite pieces, or even compose one of your original works. So with that said, keep rocking, and I'll see you when I do the next video. All right, take care, guys. Cheers.